Good evening, everybody. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Mary Bubala. Frustration growing among Marylanders as the state looks at a $3 billion budget deficit. Governor Wes Moore defending his budget proposal to the Senate just today. Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost has a look at what was discussed in Annapolis.
Governor Wes Moore defended his tax proposal during a Senate committee to a largely friendly room earlier Friday afternoon. But it's what's bubbling beyond the proposal that's raising questions about what it could mean for you and possibly more taxes. In a packed Senate Budget and Taxation Committee hearing room,
we obviously are doing the BRFA today.
Governor Wes Moore pitching his plan to close the $3 billion budget hole. His plan includes raising taxes on wealthy Marylanders, investing in new industries, and carving out $2 billion in other savings.
So I asked the members of this committee, let's work together to give the middle class a break because they need it.
But the tax breaks the governor says would hit 2/3 of Marylanders would save the average person $173. And the Board of Revenue Estimates says 1 in 5 Marylanders would see an increase in their tax burden by nearly $1,500. The governor's plan also calls for $1 billion in new tax revenue, including a 75-cent delivery fee for the Transportation Trust Fund, raising questions from some GOP senators.
I'm a fan of mass transit. I'm one of few on our party that actually support mass transit and want to see that thrive throughout our state. But the reality is most people in Maryland don't use it.
When I think about one of the more broken business models that we have within the state of Maryland, the TTF has to be somewhere at the top. We've got to be able to fix the business model.
Then a question about the state's workforce growing amid a budget crisis.
Here we are in these dire circumstances saying, to me, I was shocked. I thought we would have a hiring freeze on.
But Governor Moore says the state agencies need to be able to function. The governor and other Democrats have warned the financial uncertainty from the federal government could mean more cuts are coming to the budget. Meanwhile, the Department of Legislative Services is out with a menu of options to raise revenues, like eliminating the tax-free back-to-school shopping week, increase state property tax by 1 cent per $100 of assessed value, going from 11.2 cents to 12.2, implement a sales tax on salty snacks, and double the transfer tax on high-value properties. While most lawmakers did not pose questions to the governor after he was done testifying, we did. Is everything included in that proposal something that you would be on board with? What should Marylanders expect to see when this negotiation completes?
I'm going to work with anybody and everybody, and I will look at any and all options to make sure that we can grow this economy and that we can make Maryland more business friendly, that we can give middle-class Marylanders a tax cut because middle-class Marylanders need some tax relief.
Not a direct answer about the specific options outlined by DLS. When pressed again,
I have 3 North Stars. Making sure we're giving middle-class Marylanders a tax cut, making sure that we're making it easier for businesses to be able to grow and thrive in our state, and making sure that we can invest in our people. I will work with the General Assembly on which proposals make sense and which I think do not make sense, but those are my 3 goals.
what doesn't make sense? The governor directed to other questions instead.
Now, he's saying that he thinks he can do that through growth. You know, growth takes time.
We questioned Senate Minority Leader Steve Hershey about the options for new taxes. What's on the table, do you think, from your Democratic colleagues? What would they be willing to support?
It's almost like any tax that could be conceived and thought about is on the table right now, and that's very concerning, should be very concerning to all Marylanders.
The proposals floating now don't address the projected ballooning budget deficits in the coming years. Yet Governor Moore says he's ready to make tough decisions.
We can't kick the can down the road.
The governor says he doesn't want to kick the can down the road. Do you see any plans to do that?
Well, if he's not going to fix the blueprint this year, then he's going to kick the can down the road.
So far, it's not clear the changes the governor is proposing to the blueprint education plan will clear the legislative hurdles, and the funding is set to run out by the end of fiscal year 2027. These proposals from the Department of Legislative Services are just recommendations. Lawmakers do not have to adopt all of them or any of them. But at the end of the day, this $3 billion budget deficit will need to be closed somehow. We know that this budget negotiation is expected to last into the final days of session, so we're far from over, and we'll keep you updated as this conversation evolves. In the State House, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.